The son of an Arab CEO was born paralyzed, until a black homeless woman discovered the truth. For God's sake, someone help. My son is drowning. Kareem Al-Farhan's cry echoed across the pool area of the five-star hotel in downtown Chicago. His 7-year-old son Tariq was struggling to keep his head above water. The $45,000 motorized wheelchair had rolled into the water when the brakes failed. Keisha Williams, 34, was on the other side of the fence. Homeless for 8 months, a former trauma nurse who had lost everything after a medical error she did not commit. She saw everything in slow motion. The boy sinking. The father running but still far away. Security guards paralyzed. Keisha didn't think. She jumped over the 1.80-meter fence and dove in fully clothed. The icy water shocked her senses. She saw Tariq strapped to the chair, eyes wide with terror, bubbles escaping from his mouth. Keisha grabbed the boy, unbuckled his seatbelt with trembling fingers, and pushed him to the surface. When they emerged, Tariq coughed up water violently. Keisha held him, swimming to the edge. Kareem was already in the water, reaching for his son with tears in his eyes. Tariq. My son. Security guards helped get everyone out. Keisha laid Tariq on his side, checking his vital signs. He'll be fine. He just swallowed some water. Kareem hugged his son desperately. That's when Keisha saw something that made her heart stop. Tariq's legs had been trembling slightly during the rescue. Not spasming. Controlled movement. She knew the difference. 5 years in neurological trauma. And that wasn't complete paralysis. Sir, Keisha approached. What is your son's exact diagnosis? Kareem looked at her. A black woman, her clothes soaked and worn. Gratitude overcame judgment. Cerebral palsy since birth. Brain damage during delivery. He'll never walk. Does he get physical therapy? The best in Chicago. 3 times a week for 6 years. No progress. Keisha looked at Tariq. Can I examine him? Check for injuries from the drowning. Kareem nodded. She ran her hands over his legs, testing his reflexes. And then she saw it. His muscles had tone. Reflexes present but suppressed. As if his body was turned off, not broken. Psychogenic paralysis. His mind telling his body it couldn't move. Mr. Al-Farhan, I need to talk to you. In private. Kareem studied her face. Who are you? I was a trauma nurse. Johns Hopkins, 5 years. And what I saw is not what the doctors said. A woman in high heels and an expensive suit approached. Platinum blonde hair, icy blue eyes. Kareem, what is this person doing near Tariq? A sharp European accent. Elena, she saved his life. I see. Security will pay. Elena held out a $100 bill with disdain. Now leave. I don't want money. I want to talk about Tariq's condition. That's not your concern. Elena took a step forward. He has the best doctors in the world. Something about the speed with which Elena tried to push Keisha away set off alarm bells. Who are you? Dr. Elena Volkov. Tariq's pediatric neurologist for 6 years. The diagnosis is correct. 6 years and no progress. Cerebral palsy has no cure. Elena smiled coldly. Security. 2 men approached. Kareem raised his hand. Wait. Keisha, you said you saw something different. What? Kareem, don't be ridiculous, Elena interrupted. She's not qualified. She saved my son while you stood by and watched. Heavy silence. Keisha seized the moment. Your son has active reflexes. His muscles have tone. It's not complete cerebral palsy. Absurd. Elena raised her voice. You're giving him false hope. I'm telling you what I saw. You're homeless. The word hit like a bomb. Keisha felt shame burning. That doesn't change what I saw. It changes your credibility. Elena turned to Kareem. Let's take Tariq home. Forget this interaction. Kareem looked between Elena and Keisha. Between the 6-year-old doctor and the woman who had saved his son. Keisha, where are you staying? Elena froze. Nowhere. Would you like to stay in a hotel room tonight? And tomorrow, I'd like to hear more. Kareem, she's manipulating. She jumped the fence to save my son while you stayed safe. I'll listen to her. Keisha saw a silent war between them. Something was wrong. And while security guards grabbed her backpack and Elena whispered furiously in Arabic, Keisha looked at Tariq. The boy watched her with a strange expression. As if he knew there was a secret. A secret that Elena Volkov desperately guarded. And that Keisha Williams was about to discover. If you're enjoying this story about courage, medical mysteries, and hidden truths, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to find out what a homeless woman with nothing to lose was about to expose about the boy everyone believed would never walk. Keisha woke up in a luxurious hotel room. Egyptian sheets, marble bathroom, view of Lake Michigan. 8 months of sleeping in shelters made it seem like a dream. But it was an opportunity. She went down to breakfast where Kareem had asked to meet her. Please have a seat. Keisha sat down, getting straight to the point. Where is Dr. Volkov? With Tariq. Doing tests. Kareem studied her. Tell me your story. 8 months ago, I was on duty when a boy arrived with a head injury. I ordered an urgent CT scan. A new resident ignored me and administered the wrong medication. The child died. The resident was the director's nephew. I lost my license, my job, everything. And now you're here. I came to talk about Tariq. His reflexes are inconsistent with pure cerebral palsy. During the rescue, I felt resistance when I moved his legs. His body is shut down, not dead. What does that mean? The paralysis could be psychogenic. His mind is blocking movement. Impossible. The diagnosis came at 6 months. Can I see the original tests? Kareem hesitated. Why? Because in 6 years without progress, something is wrong. Either the diagnosis is wrong, or the treatment is wrong, or someone doesn't want him to get better. Are you accusing Elena? She reacted too quickly when I suggested a second opinion. Keisha took out her cell phone. I have a friend at Johns Hopkins. Dr. Chun, a pediatric neurologist. If I send him videos of Tariq, he can give his opinion. Elena will never allow it. Then do it without her knowing. Kareem studied Keisha. This afternoon. Elena has a conference until 6 p.m. Come at 2 p.m. At 2 p.m., Keisha was at the Glass and Steel Mansion. Tariq was playing with his tablet. For 2 hours, Keisha observed everything. How Tariq held objects. How he reacted to stimuli. She recorded discreetly. She tested his reflexes when he was distracted. And she discovered something disturbing. When Tariq wasn't paying attention, his right foot moved. Small adjustments. Unconscious. Kareem, I need to try something. Keisha threw Tariq's favorite ball away, out of reach. Oops, sorry. Can you get it back? Tariq looked at the ball. Fear appeared. I can't. My legs don't work. Try. I can't. His voice rose, almost panicked. Tariq, who said you can't? Dr. Elena. She said I'll never walk. And what happens when you try? Tears filled the boy's eyes. Dr. Elena gets mad. She says I'm hurting my legs. That it hurts. Does it hurt? Keisha frowned. How does she know? She shows me in the pictures. Red bones. She says if I move, I'll break them. Keisha and Kareem exchanged glances. Tariq, do your legs hurt right now? No. What about yesterday in the pool, when you kicked the water? Tariq's eyes widened. I kicked. Yes. You helped me swim. But, Dr. Elena said. Forget what she said. What did you feel? Movement. Like tingling. It didn't hurt. Kareem sank into the sofa, pale. Elena is lying. Why? Keisha called Chun. Chun, I need an urgent favor. I'm sending you videos of a child with suspected cerebral palsy. I need your opinion within an hour. Is this urgent? The child may be being kept paralyzed intentionally. Send them. I'll do it now. Keisha sent the videos. I need to see Tariq's original tests. They're at Elena's office. We need to get them. How? She'll be back at 6 p.m. Keisha looked at her watch. 4:30 p.m., where is it? Medical district, about 30 minutes with traffic. Do you have a key? Yes. Then let's go. Now. Kareem called his assistant. Get the car ready. And call my lawyer. On the way, Keisha received a message from Chen. Keisha, the child has active reflexes. Preserved muscle tone. This is not complete cerebral palsy. Original tests are needed, but this child may have the ability to walk. Kareem read, his hands shaking. She lied for 6 years. Let's find out why. They arrived at 5:15 p.m. Kareem opened the office. Where are the files? Back room. They found Tariq's folder. Keisha quickly leafed through it. And then she found it. 6-month MRI report. Normal neural development. No evidence of brain damage or cerebral palsy. Kareem, look. The color drained from his face. Keisha continued. She found a second report, 3 months later, signed only by Elena. Reassessment indicates severe cerebral palsy. Prognosis, no ability to walk. She faked it, Kareem whispered. Keisha photographed everything. Why? That's when they heard the elevator open. Heels on marble. Coming toward the office. Elena was coming back early. Keisha grabbed Kareem's arm. Hide. Quick. They threw themselves behind a large filing cabinet when the door opened. Elena entered, talking on the phone in Russian. Her voice was tense, irritated. No, I haven't signed yet. I need more time. Yes, I know the deal. Marriage first, then inheritance. Kareem still trusts me, but that homeless woman. She stopped walking. She looked at the desk. Tariq's briefcase was slightly out of place. Elena hung up. Kareem? I know you're here. Heavy silence. I saw the building's cameras. Your car in the parking lot. She approached the file. And you brought your new friend. Kareem left, Keisha behind him. Explain the reports. Elena didn't seem surprised. What reports? The ones that show Tariq never had cerebral palsy. You don't understand enough medicine to. I understand falsification. Keisha showed her cell phone with photos. Original MRI, normal development. 3 months later, you rewrite, severe paralysis. No second exam. No new tests. Elena stiffened. Symptoms developed. Lie. Keisha took a step forward. You conditioned a 6-month-old boy to believe he couldn't walk. You showed him fake images saying his bones would break. You created psychogenic paralysis through fear. That's absurd. Is it? Kareem took out his cell phone. Explain this then. He played the video of Tariq. Foot moving involuntarily. Reflexes responding. Your son is seriously ill, Elena tried. Those are spasms. Dr. Chen at Johns Hopkins disagrees. He said Tariq can walk. Elena paled. You sought another doctor? Without my knowledge. You don't own him, Kareem said, his voice icy. I'm his fiancé. Or did you forget? Keisha froze. Fiancé. We got engaged 3 months ago, Kareem admitted, not looking at Keisha. After my wife died 2 years ago, Elena was there for me. How convenient, Keisha murmured. Elena smiled triumphantly. See? I'm family. And as Tariq's future mother, I have a right. You're nothing. Kareem's voice cut like a knife. We haven't signed a prenup yet. We're not married yet. And now we never will be. Kareem, you're letting a homeless woman manipulate. I recorded your call. He showed her his cell phone. Marriage first, inheritance later. Why are you with sick Tariq? For money. Elena stood motionless. Keisha understood. You're his medical guardian. If anything happens to Kareem before Tariq turns 18. I control billions in trust funds, Elena finished, all pretense gone. As legal and medical guardian, I manage the fortune until Tarek comes of age. Or, as I planned, forever. Because a paralyzed boy always needs a guardian, Keisha whispered, horrified. A healthy boy would eventually take control. Elena crossed her arms. I couldn't allow that. 6 years, Kareem took a step toward her, his hands shaking. 6 years you kept my son in a chair. You watched him cry, wanting to run. You watched him ask why he was different. He never suffered. He had a better life. You stole his childhood. Kareem shouted. Elena backed away. You can't prove it. It's my word against hers. She pointed at Keisha. A discredited nurse versus a renowned neurologist. What about the falsified report? Keisha showed her cell phone. Transcription error. It happens. What about the recording of you admitting everything? Elena looked at Kareem's cell phone, realizing. He had recorded the entire conversation. Delete that. No. Delete it or. The door burst open. 3 police officers entered, guns drawn. Chicago PD. Hands where we can see them. Kareem lowered his phone. Officer, thank you for coming so quickly. You called them. Elena turned, furious. My lawyer called 20 minutes ago, when we found the first piece of evidence. The officer approached. Dr. Volkov? We have a warrant to seize all of Tarek Al-Farhan's medical records. And we need you to come with us for questioning. On what charges? Medical fraud, child abuse, attempted extortion. The officer began reading her rights as he handcuffed Elena. She struggled. Kareem, stop this. Think of Tarek. I am thinking. Kareem shouted. For the first time in 6 years, I'm thinking about him instead of trusting you. Elena was led away, shouting threats in Russian. When the door closed, Kareem collapsed into a chair, his face in his hands. My son. My son could have been walking all this time. Keisha knelt beside him. But now you know. And we can fix it. How? How do I undo 6 years? One day at a time. With real physical therapy. Psychological therapy to undo conditioning. And with love. Kareem looked at her. You saved him twice. In the pool and now. I just did what was right. Let me repay you. Money, a house, a job. I don't want charity. It's not charity. It's justice. He stood up. You lost everything for a mistake you didn't make. Let me help you get it back. Keisha thought about 8 months on the streets. About medical leave unfairly revoked. Help me clear my name. Help me get back to being a nurse. That's all I want. I have the best lawyers in the world. Your case will be reopened. Kareem's cell phone rang. Unknown number. He answered on speakerphone. Mr. Al-Farhan? This is Dr. Morrison, Chief of Neurology at Children's Memorial. Dr. Chun sent me your son's files. I'd like to examine him tomorrow. I believe we can have Tarek walking in 6 months. Kareem began to cry. Thank you. Thank you so much. When he hung up, he looked at Keisha. 6 months. My son will be walking in 6 months. If we work hard. We will. He took her hands. Together. As a team. Kareem, I can't. You can. I'm hiring you as Tarek's care coordinator. Salary, apartment, everything. When you get your license back, you'll be his official nurse. Tears burned Keisha's eyes. Why? Why are you doing this? Because you saw my son when no one else did. You saw possibility when everyone else saw impossibility. And because a homeless black woman that everyone ignored saved my greatest treasure twice. Across town, Elena Volkov sat in an interrogation room, realizing she had lost everything. Wealth, status, control. All for greed. And the boy she had kept imprisoned was about to fly. 6 months later, the morning sun streamed through the windows of Chicago's most advanced pediatric rehabilitation center. Keisha Williams, now wearing an immaculate nurse's uniform, checked Tarek's vital signs. How are you feeling today, champ? Ready. Tarek smiled, determination in his eyes. Today is the day. Dr. Morrison walked in, smiling. I hear we have an athlete here. For 6 months, Tarek worked harder than any 7-year-old should. Physical therapy 5 times a week. Psychological therapy to undo years of conditioning. Exercises that made him cry with frustration. But today, finally, he was ready. Kareem rushed in, his suit replaced by jeans and a t-shirt. Did I lose? Tell me I didn't lose. It's time. Keisha smiled. The physical therapy room was full. Physical therapists, doctors, nurses. Everyone wanted to witness it. Dr. Morrison knelt down. Tarek, there's no pressure. If you can't do it today, I'll do it. His voice was firm. With help, Tarek stood up. Parallel bars on either side for support. Absolute silence. Tarek took a deep breath. He looked at his father. Then at Keisha. You taught me that my body works. That Dr. Elena lied. And I was right, Keisha said softly. Your body was never broken. It just needed to remember. Tarek looked ahead. 15 steps to the end of the bars. He lifted his right foot. He trembled. He moved forward 10 centimeters. His first step in 7 years. Kareem covered his mouth, tears streaming down his face. Tarek lifted his left foot. Another step. Then another. His movements were unsteady, his body relearning what it had forgotten. But they were steps. Real ones. His own. After 10 steps, his legs gave way. Keisha approached to support him. No. Tarek shouted. I can do it. He held onto the bars, took a deep breath, and continued. Step 11. 12. 13. In the room, people began to applaud. Step 14. 15. Tarek reached the end of the bars and turned around, a huge smile on his face. I walked. Dad, I walked. Kareem ran, picked up his son in his arms, both crying and laughing. You walked. My son walked. Dr. Morrison wiped his eyes. In 30 years of neurology, I've never seen a recovery like this. He always could, Keisha said. He just needed to believe. 3 months later, Keisha was in a different courtroom. Not as the defendant, but as the winner. The judge banged his gavel. After extensive review, this court finds that Keisha Williams was wrongfully held liable. Medical leave is fully restored. The lawsuit against the hospital may proceed. Kareem's lawyers, the best in Chicago, had destroyed the case against her. The resident who had caused the death confessed under pressure. The director who had covered it up was fired. Across the room, Elena Volkov sat in handcuffs. Her trial had been quick. Medical fraud, child abuse, attempted extortion. 15 years in prison. When they took Elena away, she looked at Keisha. You destroyed my life. No. You destroyed yours. I just saved his. A year after the pool incident, Keisha was at the opening of a new wing at Children's Memorial. Tariq Al-Farhan Diagnostic Center, read the gold plaque. Kareem was at the microphone. A year ago, I almost lost my son. Twice. Once in the water, once to medical malpractice. A woman, ignored by the world because she was homeless, saw what expensive doctors didn't see. She saw a child who could be saved. He gestured to Keisha. Keisha Williams didn't just save Tariq. She taught me that a person's value isn't in status or wealth. It's in the courage to do the right thing when everyone else says it's wrong. Applause filled the auditorium. This center will diagnose children that other doctors have given up on. And it will be run by a woman who never gives up. Keisha took the stage, still disbelieving. A year ago, I had nothing. I slept on the streets. Society had discarded me. But one person saw beyond that. And gave me a chance to prove that I was still a nurse. I was still human. I still had value. She looked at Tariq in the front row, walking with a slight limp but walking nonetheless. Tariq taught me that impossible is just a word we use when we're afraid to try. Your body always worked. Your mind just needed permission to believe. After the ceremony, Tarek ran to Keisha. Ran. No wheelchair, no crutches. Keisha. Look. He spun around. The doctor said the limp will be gone in 6 months. She knelt down, hugging him. I'm so proud of you. You saved me. No, dear. You saved yourself. I just showed you that you could. Kareem approached. Got a minute? They walked to the private balcony overlooking the lake. I never thanked you properly, he said. You refused money, you refused a house. Because I didn't do it for a reward. I know. But let me do one thing. He handed her an envelope. Inside was the deed to an apartment. 2 bedrooms, Gold Coast. Yours. No mortgage. Kareem. It's not payment. It's an investment. In a woman who runs a center that will save hundreds of children. In a friend I will never forget. Keisha accepted the envelope with tears in her eyes. Thank you. No. Thank you. For seeing my son when he was invisible to everyone else. 2 years after that day at the pool, Keisha was at an international medical conference. Psychogenic paralysis in children is underdiagnosed, she told the packed auditorium. The case of Tarek Al-Farhan taught us that sometimes the body works but the mind says it doesn't. And doctors must listen, really listen, before giving up. After the lecture, a young doctor approached her. Dr. Williams, your work saved my niece. Doctors said she would never walk. I insisted on a psychogenic test. She walks now. Keisha smiled. How many lives transformed? By your research? 200 children in the last year. 200 children who would have been confined to wheelchairs forever. That night, Keisha returned to her apartment. 2 bedrooms, lake view, live plants. She looked at the photo on the wall. Tarek crossing the finish line in his first 5K race. Her cell phone rang. Kareem. Turn on the TV. Channel 7. She turned it on. News, Elena Volkov, neurologist who falsified diagnoses, has her sentence increased after investigation reveals other cases. 18 children were kept paralyzed unnecessarily for insurance fraud. Keisha hung up, sickened. 18 children. But also hopeful. Because now, with the protocol she had developed, they would all be re-evaluated. 3 years after saving him, Keisha watched Tarek in a school recital. He danced. Not perfectly, but he danced. Kareem was beside her. Thank you for not walking away that day. I never could. Why? You didn't know him. You didn't know me. Keisha thought of the boy who had died on her shift years ago. Of the injustice he had suffered. Of nights sleeping on the streets. Because when you lose everything, you learn what really matters. It's not money or status. It's making a difference when you can. It's seeing someone the world ignores and saying, you matter. Like you were ignored. Exactly. And now, I use that to see others who are ignored. Tarek finished dancing and ran to them. I did it. I danced. Keisha hugged him. You flew. Because in the end, this wasn't a story about a homeless person saving a rich person. It was about humanity seeing humanity. About refusing to give up when everyone said it was impossible. It was about Keisha Williams, who lost everything but never lost her vision. And about Tarek Al-Farhan, who wasn't broken, just waiting for someone to believe he could fly. Sometimes, the people society discards are exactly the ones who save those society values. And sometimes, the boy everyone said would never walk ends up running faster than anyone imagined. If this story touched you, if it reminded you that impossible is just a word and that a person's value is not in their bank account, subscribe to the channel. Share it so that more people can see that we judge too quickly and give up too soon. Comment about someone who was underestimated and proved everyone wrong. Because stories like this need to be told.